Hey, he's really feeling it right now, huh?
Rid me from this imperfect realm!
Endow me in a bed of roses. Yeah, you get him. You go, Caligar. Yeah, you walk. RP walking. Oh, yeah. We're doing that RP Space Marine walk.
Cover me! Brother, wait! Go!
Oh, no.
I see it all! Brother! Get up! All your service, all the suffering of humanity for their carrion emperor. It's all for nothing! Rise, son of Gilliman.
Brother, it is over. You did it. Brother!
Rise, Titus. Your duty is not yet done.
He's half dead. He's like, get up, man. Just get up.
For the Emperor! For the Emperor!
Nice. Very nice. That's a pretty decent ending, I would say. I think it's a feel-good ending, that's for sure.
Lieutenant Demetrian Titus, your decisive actions have saved this system from ruin. And so it is with great pride that I now present you with an honor worthy of your deeds. The laurels of victory. Let every warrior of the Adeptus Astartes see that here stands the true measure of a son of Gilliman.
For the glory of Ultramar!
Courage and honor!
See, man,
Company dismissed.
I got a real nice helmet. Oh, man.
Forgive me, brother, that it took me so long to bring you home.
My lord, that is...
Fierce was my wrath when I learned of your detention. In their arrogant suspicion, the Inquisition failed to recognize the truth. That no evil will ever overcome a devotion such as yours.
Honestly, I don't know anything about this devotion, but I'm here for it.
There is a mission. It will take you away from the second company for a time.
As you command, Chapter Master.
The brother chaplain will brief you. It was he that suggested you for the task.
My lord, the sword of Kauth is ready to depart.
Thank you, Captain.
What sword? You know what? I'm
My
down
ship
for
will
it
convey
anyway.
you to your destination. I shall be glad of your company.
I have no idea. What is going on?
It has been an honor.
It has indeed,
Has been.
my captain.
I hear you'll be taking your leave of us. Not for too long, I hope. Emperor guide you.
And you, sir.
I'm not crying. You're crying, man. Oh my gosh. We're leaving.
Brothers, I am called to serve elsewhere.
You'll be missed, my lord.
I will not forget the blood we have drawn together.
Nor shall we.
I owe you both a debt. You have restored my faith in brotherhood.
We shall await your return.
Courage and honor.
Courage and honor.
Titus, Lord Calgar has informed you of your assignment. Good. I will brief you en route.
You are joining us.
I am.
Very good, my lord.
You have done well. You have won the trust of your brothers. And of the chapter master.
But he didn't. I don't think he did anything
Know
wrong.
this, Titus.
I don't get
Stain
it.
of suspicion never completely fades. I will be watching you. Should you falter on the path, for even a moment.
I will show no mercy.
Leandros.
My lord, it is
Who is he? What the? It's that guy. It's the dude. Oh. Motivacity brothers. I'm so sorry I have to go. I'm leaving with the white man. Oh shit, man. My white brothers. Old age leaves the new age behind. Man, those ship designs are great. Wow. I love that. Oh shit, man, we got it. We did it. Oh freak. Yeah, so a bunch of dudes in here, bunch of men worked on this game, which it feels like a bunch of men worked on this mother effing game. And some of these names, I kind of read it and I'm like, that could be a chick. I have no idea. I mean, Ekaterina. Get off the team. A woman is here. Remove her at once. I'm waiting to see the narrative director and the writers. And then I'm gonna share some of my thoughts. Yeah, there's a lot of Ekaterinas. Are any of them triple G? Okay, that's all I need to know. Do any of them have triple Gs? And are they also thin at the same time? Any supermodels in here, okay? Any supermodels? Anyway, the game effectively had no story. Oh shoot. The game effectively had no story with the plot. I have no idea like what anything means. Throughout the entirety of the story, they're just like, you're just gonna figure it out. And it's like, you know, you guys could have explained a little bit. I understand you sitting there and being like, we're writing a story as if you already know what's going on. We are writing characters where nobody's being keyed in on anything or anyone except the characters themselves. They understand everything as it is, right? I guess I'm not gonna see the writers. I guess I skipped it. I guess they showed it already. I don't know. Animation team did well. I mean, a lot of these guys, visual effects, great. I mean, seriously, a lot of good work here. Environmental design was amazing. The art direction was amazing. I think technical, yeah, I think they did a good job. I think the combat could have been a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. It could have been a lot more. In the audio design, that was good too, yeah. I think the combat could have been a little bit more interesting. It wasn't really that good, I'm gonna be honest. It was very stale, and it's very easy to get tired of this combat. A lot of the enemies do realistically feel like bullet sponges in a weird way. So there's some elements that's kind of annoying. All right, lead writers, Craig and Oliver, 2 men, Randy, Matthew, James, okay. Additional writing, a woman. Story editor, okay, a woman. Lead narrative producer, a woman. What the frick, man? What are we doing? Well, okay, so like mainly written by dudes, but still. But what was that other game? There was another game I was thinking of that was also, oh, Evil West. Evil West is the other game I was thinking about, where literally one of the lead writers was a woman, and I'm like, the game does not come across like a woman wrote or did anything on this freaking game. So it's just weird because it's like you have women on the team, but it's like this is not female writing. Female and male writing, very distinct difference. So I don't know. There's something weird about that. And yeah, by the way, it's not that, oh, well, it just happens to be the women. They write like men. No, that's never what it is. So again, like, what are they doing on the team? I don't know. Why were they hired? Why was a man not the narrative producer? That makes no sense. But okay, whatever. It came out as good as it was. The writers did a good job, the 2 dudes. And then I guess you had the other people, which... who's doing what when we work on these games? I don't know, but whatever, man. Technical writer lead. What does that mean? Technical writers. What? Again, games are being made by these committees. I have no clue. So what's being written by who? I have no idea. No idea. Anyway, they did a great job with this game. And it was a feel-good... By the way, my mic went out when I was speaking earlier, but it doesn't matter because the cutscene started playing. But it was a feel-good ending. And, like, honestly, it's one of those weird endings where, quite frankly, they're operating off of iconography. They're operating off of archetype. They're operating off of, in some part, a trope. They're operating off of a feeling that you've gotten from previous games. Okay, in previous games, right, we have this same ending where it's like you went on this big adventure, you killed a bunch of monsters, you thought you were nearly going to lose, some partial sacrifices were made along the way, people died, people live, and in the end, it's like, wow, you made it, and rise, guy that nearly died, and it's like, and then you get up, right? That kind of an ending has been done many times, so it comes with a lot of baggage. Well, there's a lot of good stories that have done it, so then when you're experiencing a story that you like, you're getting all that nostalgia, effectively. So, and that's what it is. It's nostalgic writing. It's like, I've been here before. I've experienced in like a Gears of War game or something like that. I've experienced this ending before. So it hits you deep. You're like, oh, frick, yeah, that's right. I will get up. Yeah, that's right. We just defeated the enemy. Heck yeah. You know, that's the kind of ending that you get there. And that's how you feel. You're like, dang, yeah, we did it. That's the kind of ending that we got. You've experienced this many times before. It's based in nostalgia. And because of that, it hits you hard, even if the story's not that good. Many stories do this, by the way. Woke stories, they do this. I mean, Jedi Survivor is an example. Like, you can sit there, and I remember, I think at the end of Jedi Survivor, we played that recently, by the way, and we finished it, and man, I hate that game, but... the ending does that to you, where you're like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't even really like any of the characters, but when Bode dies, and the whole journey of the game is over, the way that they end it, is that way that so many other stories have ended. Like, wow, that great relief after going on a great journey. It's like, wow, we did all this and we fought all these enemies and now we overcame all those hurdles, right? That kind of ending, it is operating off of trope. It is not operating on direct ingenious quality. Let's face it, that's what it is. And so, like, even at the end of Jedi Survivor, I hated so many of the characters and I hated the game in a lot of ways, especially the story. But you still get that weird sense of like, holy crap, I'm tearing up or something like, oh, well, not with Jedi Survivor, but you're like, oh my gosh, I kind of like, wow, I can't believe we're here. And like, in some weird way, I kind of miss where we were and I can't believe it's over now. And like, you're getting this weird kind of withdrawals, you know, that happens for you because you're basically having a dopamine rush. At the end of a story, you're getting this idea that you're getting this dopamine input that is resonating with the fact we overcame a great odds, a great adventure, and now the adventure's over. And it's like, and that means like the entire journey's over. And it's like, well, what now? Right? And now you're in a place of discontent. I can't believe it's all over, and I can't believe, well, what next? What are we doing now? We can't just be doing nothing. And like, we invested our ego in being a space marine, right? I will say this, a game that had a great ending, much like this, that you went on this great adventure, but like it really hits you deep, was Final Fantasy Strangers of Paradise. This is a game that not many people talk about. It's a game that didn't even have a story from the beginning middle. So not the beginning, but the middle of the beginning, to the middle of the game, to the middle late of the game. But once the story of the game is effectively the beginning and only the end. Well, and kind of a little bit of the middle end of the game. So like the third, fourth of the game also had a little bit of a story. Not too much. Half of the third, fourth, okay? And that game, again, it's like they were dragging out the game because I guess they didn't have enough of a story there. Although I don't know about that. Anyways, they dragged out the story for Strangers of Paradise. Regardless, the game has an excellent story. When you cut out all that filler that I'm talking about here, that's basically within the beginning, middle, and the middle of the game. And that was a huge issue for Strangers of Paradise. That's something that really frustrated me when I was going through it. I was like, what the F is this story? But then we get near the end of the story, and all of a sudden it picks up, and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel suddenly connected to this character. And suddenly that character means something to me. All of a sudden things start coming together because they actually, for some reason, the writers, they decided to come back. They took a freaking nap during like the middle and the beginning middle of the game, and then they were like, okay, we're back. Well, let's continue our work. And you're like, come on, man. But whatever. The story was so good. And man, Strangers of Paradise, that story hit me deep. And this game operates off of the same feeling of a story like that and an ending like that game. So it's like, although the story for this game isn't great, it hits hard at the end. It gets you right in the feels. The feels that so many, it's a recipe, right? It's a recipe that comes with all this nostalgia from other titles that have done this well. So you're getting that same dopamine response that you felt from previous titles. That's what's happening. You're getting a new resurgence of that. It's like a phoenix, it died, it's reborn. That's what's happening within yourself when you experience an ending like this story. So of course, I preface that with me saying this. This game has no story. This game has no narrative. This game, it's like, what the frick was going on half the time? Who the frick are half of these things, people, whatever? But it's like, the game's beautiful. The world is beautiful. I love, like, they do a great job honoring what is a Space Marine. What is the essence of Space Marine? They do a great job with that. And so because of this, wow, they put a woman in charge of finance. That was a bad decision, by the way. Accounting director. Do you understand? Do you understand women? Women lead on freaking debt and also loan debt, all kinds of debt, credit card debt, ahead of men. But okay, you put a woman in freaking charge of accounting. Good for you. Anyway, it's just a retarded decision. Is the COO a woman? Oh my, dude, the DEI. Come on. Anyway, I'm just looking past that. Yeah, just because we need to get through everything else I want to say. So this game doesn't have much of a story. You know, it doesn't hit you. It doesn't really mean anything for a long time as you're going through the story. You're like, okay, we're here. Okay, nothing's happening. Okay. What's the deal? You know, it's like character there, character here, doesn't really mean anything everywhere. But then you get to the end of the story, and because you have such an investment into the characters, into the world, we've been with Titus, we've been with Charon, we've been with Gadriel throughout the entirety of the story. The way that it ends with this kind of like happy ending, right? It's the end of a great adventure. That kind of ending that we've had so many times in other titles, it hits you, you know? And so because of this, the story actually means something to you. It hits deep, it resonates, and you're like, shoot, I can't believe we just went through all of that, right? So that's the quality of the story, is that it's relying upon the nostalgia of a recipe, of a formula for hitting your dopamine to make the ending feel good. Because now I'm walking away from this ending and I'm like, frick, not only do I feel good, but I miss these characters, I miss the world already as the final cutscenes are playing. We're getting onto the freaking, the shuttle. And you know, we're looking back at our diversity squad, my Asian and black brothers, and I'm like, frick, I'm not tearing up, you're tearing up, you know? And like, it wasn't even that. It was when Titus was supposed to be dead, or yeah, basically. And then Calgar walks up to him. He's like, rise, son of Gilliman. And then he gets up. He's like, you know, he's his body's basically rebooting. Let's face it. And then he's given the hand. He gets up from the ground. That right there, you know, it was kind of, you know, the same emotion of like tearing up. I was getting that. Okay, it was hitting me. I was like, frick, I feel that, and frick, that feels good. That's good. That's good what they're doing there. And I wow, you know, that hits deep, and that definitely got to me. It definitely got to me. So they did a good job there, and I mean, I wasn't actually tearing up, but again, I'll just say, you know, air quotes, I was tearing up at that part right there. So that was really good. That was really well done. That hit me where I needed to be hit. And there were things that they did well with the game, with the story, to make that mean something to you. So, okay. Good job on that. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty impressed. They did good work. Honestly, I'm impressed for what it's worth. To that extent. Even though it is operating off of nostalgia, even though basically it's being built off of the shoulders of other works, that kind of a moment in a game and how it's gonna hit you, they did enough well that I'm like, I'm here for it, and man, that hits. Even though there was no story, midway throughout the entirety of the game. Oh my gosh. Oh. Frick. It was still good. By the way, go check out my books if you want a story that's happening all throughout, okay? And I will say, pick up Realm Lords Apocrypha. That one is, I'm still working on the rest of the series, but that's one of my favorites right now. Well, I mean, I like all of my books, but anyway, pick it up. And, but especially the Realm Lords Apocrypha, something I need to be getting back to very soon here. But, I mean, I've been so busy recently. I haven't been able to work on it, but I have so many things to work on. Oh my god. So many different... I'm trying, bro. I need to work on my time management. Man, you have no clue. I used to think about whenever people sit there and they talk about time management, I'm like, this is the gayest thing, because it's like you don't have anything going on. But when you're someone that actually has things going on, I get it if you're sitting there like, I need time management. But you're freaking queers, and I know these people. I've known many people like this, where they will schedule out their day. They're like, I'm having a snack here. 11 to 12, I'm having a snack. Are you kidding me, bro? Come on. Or 11 to 11:15. Yeah, I'm having a snack. It's like, come on, you freaking queer. Just eat the freaking snack and get back to work. Like, what are you doing? You are literally making a freaking schedule and you put into it your snack time. Your snack time. You're having a snack and you put that into your freaking schedule. What is wrong with you? Anyway. I'm very busy. And as of late, and honestly, I want to reduce how busy I am. So like now I understand. Now I understand people who are actually very busy. It's not like I never completely understood them, but now I have a very. By the way, these dudes right here, they did a great job on the voice acting. I think the voice acting was really well done. You can make a little bit of criticisms here and there. You could say like maybe they could have put a little bit more in. I mean, dude, I hate Diablo 4, but if you want to know one thing about Diablo 4, some of the best voice acting ever in a game. Literally, you're not even seeing people's faces, but you're like, it feels like you're right there in the scene. Now, these guys, they did a great job, but it's like, I can imagine that these guys, they could have really upped their game even further than this. This is not the pinnacle of voice acting. Now, of course, they did a great job. I'm just saying that Diablo 4, holy crap, the voice acting was really good in that game. So anyway, just for me though, I just now understand, like, people who really have to manage their time, holy crap. It's insane. Once you get to a point where you actually genuinely need to manage your time, because like you're eating food. This is what I'm talking about. And this exactly goes back to my criticism right there. When you are the kind of person that is scheduling into your schedule a snack or a time to eat, you're not busy. What I'm talking about here, when you get busy and you're sitting there and you're eating food and you're like, frick, this is taking too long. Frick, what the heck, bro? I need to do something. Oh wow, bro. They actually had streamers. I'm seeing some streamer names. They had some streamers do voice acting for this game. That's silly. And I do not like them integrating freaking streamers, because a lot of these guys are freaking Democrat losers. No, I just hire someone that isn't a freaking streamer. Just do that. No, screw the streamers. They're freaking Democrats, pieces of trash, filth of the earth. Anyway. Anyway. But when you're that guy and you're so busy, you're like, I'm eating food and this is taking too much time. You're like, I cannot even fit eating in my day. Then you sit there and it's like, that's when you're busy. That is when you need time management, is when you're like, I'm eating food and this is wasting my time. When you're at that point, you got to figure out something about how to manage your time, because it's like, yeah, you're busy. That is the definition of busy. I'm eating and this is a waste of my time. Yeah. Anyway. So, as I was speaking about, oh man, I wonder what the Chinese voice actors sound like for these guys. Wiki ball, wiki joel, wika waka, waka dee tiki. I don't even know. Oh man, they're casting a lead voice director. I guess he died. Man, that sucks. We can load the key. Oh my gosh. Yep, that's exactly how the Chinese sounds. Oh my gosh, man, bro, I'm like, just seeing the Japanese cast, it just makes me think of freaking Japanese women. I'm down bad. Ever since certain games like Stellar Blade, I'm down bad for Japanese. Anyway. So back to the story and back to everything that has to do with this game. Oh, that's awesome that they had actual musicians. I love having actual musicians. I wish they got the composer though for Darktide, Warhammer Darktide. That game has. Oh, are you kidding me? Really? There's another in memoriam. Wow. So those are the people that died. Well, that sucks. during the development, but like again, like don't recognize freaking streamers, we'll read this in a second. Don't recognize streamers, don't recognize freaking tubers or whatever. Don't recognize these freaking personalities. They're freaking homosexuals. They're freaking Democrats. As I remember, Biscuit, or maybe I'm thinking of someone else. I'm pretty sure Biscuit is a raging Democrat. I have nothing for a Democrat. So who gives a crap? Screw you. I don't care. You rot in freaking hell because that's where you're going. You freaking loser piece of trash. I have nothing for a freaking Democrat. They're absolute pieces of filth. They are the worst of the worst. There is no part of me that feels sorry. So, and again, unless I'm mixing up the name, I'm sure I'm not. As I remember, Biscuit was a right-wing hating, obese loser. So I don't have anything for that guy. He can go freaking rot. Anyway, so outside of that, the story overall, right? It didn't really mean much the whole way through. I'm like, what the frick is going on? But in the end, the ending was good. In the end, a lot of the relationships between the characters, it felt like it got a lot of good payoffs. You know, your relationship with Charon and Gadriel. See, like, this game is such a freaking blueprint. It's running on freaking the fumes of a blueprint, right? You know, like, because I'm going to be honest with you, I was getting so bored with the story halfway through. I was like, okay, this is going nowhere. I'm not invested. But it's like, then the story actually starts going somewhere once we get towards the end. And then it's capitalizing on the relationship that you have with Charon and Gadriel. And of course, you know, one of them nearly kills you, and then, you know, the other one saves you. So you have all this kind of emotional investment to these characters by that point in time. And again, it's a blueprint, and it works. I don't like it because they could have done more with the story. You can have the same story, but have 10 times the amount of substance. We had very little substance. The things that were good are typically good in a lot of good stories. But, and again, it's riding off the coattails of nostalgia from those other stories. In the end, it felt really good though. Seriously, like, I was getting towards the end of the story, and when we're in those final scenes, I'm like, frick, you know, I'm not tearing up, you're tearing up, that kind of thing. So, and I was feeling it. I was feeling the ending there. It was hitting me. And, you know, everything with Caligar, everything with your diversity squad. I mean, just everything was getting a good payoff. It was a seriously good payoff for the entirety of a story that we just went on. What else? What else outside of that? Gameplay feels very bland. I'm going to say that. It is incredibly repetitive. I'm going to be honest. It feels a little bit too grindy, right? Having to attack certain enemies, it feels like I'm having to do it. I'm having to shoot them too much to get a kill. And like, honestly, having to do consistent executions is also a little bit annoying. It just breaks up the flow of the combat. I'm going to be honest on that one too. I like the executions. It's just that it has that trade-off where it makes the combat feel a lot slower. So, although I love the Space Marines, I love how they look in this game. I love how they've been honored in this game. By the way, they all basically look like Mega Man, okay? But I love the way they look. They look terrific. I love the writing for the game. I love the way that these guys, how they talk to each other. I love the dialogue lines that pain deepens devotion. I love that kind of crap. I love the other lines that have been said. Oh, there's a lot of great Warhammer quotes. You know what? Fine. We're doing it right here. Here's what we're going to do. I'm gonna show, Warhammer quotes for camouflage. All right, so there's a quote. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, man, this is a great quote right here. This is a super awesome quote for Warhammer. So right here, man, this is in regards to camouflage. Man, this is so good, man. I love this. So camouflage is the color of fear. I have no need to hide from my foes. I have no fear of death. My colors I wear openly. They proclaim louder than any words. I am proud to live. I am proud to die. That is such... I'm going to read it one more. Dude, it's so good. I don't know. Who the frick? Wait. Who wrote that? Where did it come from? Oh, wow. And then there's this other quote, and I guess I'll read this too, just for the sake of it. Victory needs no explanation. Defeat allows none. That works. All right, let me see. Is there another good one? Anyways, let's reread that. Oh wait, hold up. There's another one here. All right, let's see this. Let's see this one quote. Wait, where is it? Oh shoot, missing the quote. Where is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, well I can't find it, so whatever. End of my life. Okay. Is that an actual quote? I don't have time to die. I'm too busy. Okay. I could see a space marine saying that. That's kind of funny though. Oh wow. I'm trying to find, there's this one quote. Okay, this quote is going to cut off, but here's this other quote here. It says, I will cast a shadow across the world. I will burn every man, woman, and child, so the smoke from the funeral pyres eclipses the sun. And then it goes on from there. But I mean, like, dude, I love yeah, that's definitely not my favorite quote, but I mean, I love the ruthlessness of the freaking Space Marines. Anyways, though, right here. So this is the quote, though. Camouflage, again, one more time. Camouflage is the color of fear. I have no need to hide from my foes. I have no fear of death. My colors I wear openly. They proclaim louder than any words. I am proud to live. I am proud to die. Dang, man. And this game itself utilized and definitely leaned into a lot of great quotes. So, a lot of great lines. I really love it. They did a great job with this. And I'm really impressed. Just with the writing and you know, some of the writing is from Warhammer, but regardless, it's just, this is Warhammer writing, right? And it's so freaking good. I love the way that the Marines, the way that they think. I love the way that they talk. Again, that's one of my favorite quotes, though. The one on camouflage. That is just such a freaking... Again, camouflage is the color of fear. I have no need to hide from my foes. I have no fear of death. My colors, I wear them openly. They proclaim louder than any words. I am proud to live. I am proud to die. Man, dude, I love that. And I guess that's kind of like the idea behind why a Space Marine just wears these open colors. My goodness. I love that freaking perspective. It's so freaking good. Yeah, Warhammer has some really good quotes overall. My gosh. And as far as I understand, a lot of people say that the writing in Warhammer is kind of all over the place because they have so many writers, but you know, some of them, they definitely know what they're doing and they do a good job. So anyway, like, by the end of the story, even though throughout it really doesn't mean much to me, the end of the story does hit you, and it does get me. Like, I'm immediately feeling nostalgia for these characters, and I'm like, frick, I don't want to go. Oh my gosh, the entire journey, it's over. You get that kind of feeling at the end. So that was a good job right there. Again, the gameplay feels very stale. The gameplay loses its luster very quickly because of how long it goes for. With being so one note, right? Outside of that, the cinematics are just great. I love the cinematics. I love how they make the Space Marines fight. I love the way that they're animated in the cutscenes. I mean, everything's just so good. And the graphical effects in this game are amazing. They did a great job of incorporating Imara into this game, or whatever the frick that eagle is. That's also really well done. Imara just looked awesome, and he was using a lot of his abilities that I guess he's kind of known for, I guess. Some of those abilities I remember seeing. I'm gonna guess he was in Dawn of War, but you know, I know him from playing Age of Sigmar, so that's my first place of knowing about him. But he was done great. He looks great in the game. Just so many things were done so well. Dude, the ship design, the level world design, it looks beautiful. All right, let's read this because I want to look around in the hangar bay. But okay, continue your fight. Continue the battle in one of the other game modes. They say that they're going to come out with another PvE game mode, by the way. I heard that. I don't know if it's true. Lead a unique combat squad. Yep. Conquer your foes in the PvP. We're going to try PvP pretty soon here because it's going to take a little bit more time to go through the operations, but yeah, we're going to be picking up operations. But dude, just look at the ship design. Look how good that is. Look at that. Holy crap. Isn't that so good? It's so good. Such a good look. Man, it looks so terrific. It's beautiful, dude. These are graphics, by the way, that for the longest time we thought to ourselves, you're never gonna see graphics like these. And now we're getting these graphics in games. Look how beautiful the lighting is. Look how beautiful the environment is. Look how beautiful, look at the textures are so good. Look at that. Man, dude, it's so freaking impressive. Everything looks good in this game, man. Everything's beautiful. Everything's impressive. Man, they seriously did a great job. And the motion blur is also really good in this game. Like, for the longest time, motion blur was really nauseating. But, like, quite honestly, it's not really that nauseating for me in this game. Like, I think this game does motion blur really well. And maybe because it's not that strong. Wait, what's down here? Can we go through here? No. But the environments look so good. I mean, seriously, they did such a great job with all of this. My gosh. I mean, seriously, the game is just so good. I don't know what it is about that chain and ball. I guess it's supposed to be some kind of weird, like, spiritual incense kind of thing. I don't know. It's a good ending. So I don't know, man. I think this is what I'll say. I am definitely going to miss this game once it's all over. I love the worlds. I love the characters. Like, I love what a Space Marine is. It's so cool. I think they did such a great job with this. And I love the masculinity of the characters in this world and in this game. It's really good. And the quotes for it, all of it. I mean, and it's like, the entire mindset is never giving up, right? Absolute perseverance. And that is the spirit of, shoot. What was I saying it was for the longest time? What when it comes down to storytelling, perseverance is a very important feature. But I mean, that is a huge element, heavy element of masculine ideal, is absolute perseverance, right? Even when Titus, basically, his body's shut down from utilizing the electrical warp key or whatever the frick it is, he's told just to get up, right? Get up on his feet, which is just, I mean, again, it just delivers that that idea, that mindset, that concept that no matter what, as a man, you don't give up, you don't bend to your knee, and you keep on fighting, you keep on pursuing forward, in spite of death, in spite of your fear of death, in spite of everything, you keep on pursuing forward. Absolute perseverance, and that is an absolute essence of masculinity. And of course, that's also the absolute essence of a hero. A hero is only a man. And that absolute ideal of a man, the man who perseveres no matter what, that is, again, that is the absolute essence of both masculinity as well as heroism. It's so good. And it's such a, honestly, it's just such a heroic end of a story. And by the way, it doesn't mean egalitarian this, egalitarian that. Screw whatever stories try to push a lot of egalitarian crap through these kinds of ideals and virtues, right? Virtues of masculinity nowadays, it's all about, people sit there and they act like, the strength of a man is his ability to protect the weak. And like, you just have to be an absolute cuck to think that. That's not what the absolute strength of a man is. And that it's such a female-centric way of looking at the world and of looking at men, is to sit there and to say that strength of a man, the best and the most ideal strength of a man, is the ability to protect the weak. Because also it's like, you're assuming that the weak is worthy of fighting for, of defending for, that they're not immodest, or that they're not in some way these disdainful individuals, right? There's a lot of weak people who are absolutely ignoble. Who would fight for them? Why would the strong man, in fact, fight for the weak man? The weak man who defeats himself. What makes a man weak is typically cowardice, is typically his own soul is impoverished. He is demoralized more than you know. He self-defeats himself every day. That is the essence. That is the absolute essence of a weak man. To act like there's a great strength in a man who will fight for the weak. It's like, okay, you also then believe, because you're just overlooking what makes someone weak. That is also someone that is ignoble and they possess no virtue. There is no value. There is no redemptive value, or let's say there is no, outside of redemption, there is no virtue in standing up for the weak, because most weak people are ignoble. We want to overlook the fact that they're ignoble. We just want to assume that a bunch of weak people, for whatever reason, they're down on their luck or whatever. It is this idea. It is such a socialist entitlement perspective that you sit there and you think it's beautiful and brave when a strong man fights for the weak. Because something made those people weak. They chose it. Most people choose to be weak. That is the reality. And again, this is socialist ways of thinking. To think that the able-bodied man must sacrifice himself for the disembodied man or the unbodied man, whatever. I mean, that is just existential cuckoldry for one, and that is existential slavery for two. No, what is truly virtuous, what is truly noble, is when a strong man, he lives and he dies for great men, for fellow men who work their tails off, for other men who labor hard, for other men who persevere in their own ways, but they persevere and they fight on. When a man puts his life down and he perseveres for those who are noble, for those who are great, that is a great man, and that is a man living at the absolute excellence of his own essence. That is the real strength of a man, is a man that's willing to live and die for another great man, for a great society, for anything of greatness, you know? Even a great child, right? You know, a child prodigy or something like that, a child of a noble family, something like that. You know, a child from a good background, a child who has a bright future, right? They work hard and they have a lot of potential in the future, whether it's going to be they're going to create great technologies, right? A next great inventor, or this is a child that is preparing to be something great. There's a greatness in a man sacrificing his life for a great individual. And of course, you know, there's something great in a man. There's nothing great, for instance, in a man sacrificing his life, fighting for an obese woman, an obese, ugly woman. There is nothing beautiful in that. Oh, wow, that's so great. Wow, that's so inspirational. This man, he put his life down for an obese land whale. Who the frick looks up to that and thinks that's the ideal? No, there's something beautiful about a man risking his life for a beautiful woman. And most likely, right? I mean, specifically for a beautiful woman, just in general, but like we're thinking through the lens of nobility. So it's a beautiful woman who also is betrothed to that man, right? Think of that freaking biatch in Hercules, the Hercules movie. Anyways, Hercules though, right? A big idea to the story is that Hercules is willing to die for the world, and a part of his love for the world is this hot 10 out of 10 chick. I forget her name, whoever she is. She wears a purple dress and all that stuff. But right, a part of him fighting to save the world is also fighting to save this beautiful woman, and they're both in love with each other. Well, that's noble, and that's great. But if she were an obese, ugly land whale, would anyone sit there and be like, oh wow, what a great guy. He's risking his life for an obese land whale who's disgusting and smells. I mean, come on, man. And that's why I hate how egalitarians, they putrefy everything that is true and real about the world. That is always what they do. They always take something that is noble and then they try to apply their own ignobility to what is noble. And that's because they are equalitarians. They believe that everything is to be seen as equal. The man who does not labor, this is socialism, the man who does not labor must be seen as equal to the man who does labor. A woman, just a woman, should be seen as equal to a man, even though women are in no way, shape, or form equal to a man. Heroism, for instance, women are not heroes. Men are. Men are always the ones who will sacrifice their life for the greatness of a cause or people. It will never be a woman. We know this in modern day, and we know this in the past, in history, and we know this for the future. And of course, then you can look at many of the other things. Also, multiculturalism and how they want to look at the fact that different groups are equal to one another, even though it's very clear that other groups are not equal to one another. Just look at other cultures. Everyone knows that based on race, different cultures are different from one another because it's based on race. Everyone knows that there are differences based on your ancestry. These ideas that we have where everything's equal nowadays, it's absolute bogus horse crap. Anyways, I'm kind of forgetting the point I was originally making. We're just going to keep on going. Anyways, there's a true nobility in a great man. And it's the man who fights. Oh yeah, and that was the thing I was talking about, is that the left, egalitarians, they go out of their way to try and make it out to be that those who are not equal to them, those who are distinguished beyond and above them, they to which are noble are for some reason to be equivocated with those who are ignoble. There is no greatness, no virtue, no nobility in you living and dying for those who do not possess virtue. There is no value in that. And that's what we do with a lot of modern storytelling nowadays, right? The beauty of this world is that these are great men, and they're living and they're dying for their fellow great man, but also they're living and they're dying for a great empire, which is, of course, the emperor and all this. I forget what they're called, but whatever it is, the Imperium is, I think, what it's called. Anyway, the Imperium of Man is, I believe, what it's called. Anyway, you have to live and die for something, though, that is noble. You don't live and die for a weak nation, a weak country. You don't live and die for a weak people, a self-defeating people, a people who there's nothing of value. There's no essence of redemptive virtue behind them. You don't live and die for that kind of a nation. You're throwing your life away. No, you live and you die for something that has value. So, a beautiful woman, a great, some kind of child with potential, right? A prodigy or something of the form. Because there's a bunch of kids that are just freaking snots and all that crap. No, it has to be a kid from a good family, a good background, a kid that, he was raised well. That's someone that's worth dying for as a man, is a good kid, not some freaking trash clown kid that's like obese or something like that. No one's gonna live and die for that trash. What the frick? That makes a man a hero? No, you're literally dying as a great man for someone that's lesser than you. What the frick is noble about that? And this is why I'm so sick and tired of egalitarianism, because it's to make all things equal, to which we know are not fundamentally equal. It is to equate nobility with ignobility. This is a lie, it is a farce, and it is malicious evil. And by the way, so many generations, they didn't think like this. This is a new age way of thinking. I'm fed up with it. Anyway. But a great man, he dies for a great country. A great man, he dies, he lives for something that is equally great of its own value. That's what he lives and dies for. You don't die for someone that means nothing. You don't do that. And you know what? I'm just gonna freaking say this too. You also don't die. Nobody thinks it's noble to die for a stupid person. Nobody thinks that's noble. Not a singular person thinks it's normal to die for a stupid person. Nobody. In the second you find someone who does, I want you to show them someone who's genuinely stupid, and I want you to tell them, now you must die for that. Nobody wants to do it. Anyways, there's no nobility in the idea of dying for someone that has no value. It's stupid, it's ridiculous. I hate this modern day sentiment that we have because of egalitarianism, the religion, polytheistic religion, satanic religion of egalitarianism. It prescribes these notions. Screw you, I don't believe in your God, I don't kneel before your God, Lucifer, who of course, again, his child being the father of all this nonsense under relativism, the mother of all modernity. Egalitarianism is the father, the Zeus of all of modernity as a whole. And of course, who gave birth, who sired modernity? It was Lucifer in the end. Through Lucifer we have modernity, and now his child is what? Egalitarianism. It's this living idea that exudes the essence of Lucifer, right? Just like Kronos to Zeus and all that. Who's the dude, I looked up the name. Jupiter. Jupiter's the one for Greece, right? Anyway. By the way, Jupiter's the Kronos for Greece, as I remember. Oh no, sorry, Jupiter is for Rome. Oh my gosh, getting them mixed up. It's so easy to get them mixed up, bro. It's so freaking easy because literally Rome just copied Greece. Anyway. And they literally copied the culture too. They copied the religion, they copied the culture. So moving on from that. We all know that... Okay, simplify it. Egalitarianism. I do not worship your God. Screw your freaking God, who's Lucifer. screw your freaking God. I do not worship this polytheistic religion, again, who mothered the rest of modernity, which is what? Multiculturalism, feminism, the gender bull crap. Go down the list. Socialism, again, socialism. Socialism is a big deal nowadays because we keep on wanting to equate the man who works with the man who does not work. This is such an intense evil. It's unbelievable. But anyways, and it's been going on for a long time. You know, it's sad to see that we are bringing communism right now to a place like America after we've seen it. It has destroyed so many countries. Communism, socialism, it has destroyed so many countries. In South America, it's destroyed Asian countries. It's destroyed European countries. It has destroyed so many societies. And for some reason, we are bringing it to places like America today. And it's like, this is not going to work. Anyway, it's evil. It's pure evil. It's Luciferian. Anyway. But that is the modern day God that they wish for you to worship. And through this lens, so many people want to say that when a great man, a strong man, he fights and he risks his life for the weak, that there's something good about that man. No, it's conditional, not categorical. A great man lives and dies for other great people. A great woman, right? Beautiful woman. A dutiful woman is also another example. A dutiful woman, a beautiful woman. You could say a stewardess woman in that essence. Again, a prodigal child, or some kind of child with great potential, or of some kind, or a child from a good background, a good raising. And then a man dying and living for a great country and a great fellow man. That is what makes a man great in the end. And that is always what has made a man great all throughout history, no matter how woke you want to get. That is always the definition. And that's the thing I love about this game, and I love about the world of Warhammer here, is that these are such unrelenting men. They are ruthless, and they pursue the honor and the nobility of the true warrior spirit that we have known throughout history and has now in modernity been lost onto us. This game right here brings that back to life. And that is effectively what has happened here. This brings that back to life. It reminds us of the biblical incentive of a man. The kind of Christian ideal of a crusader out in space, cleaving through the impure, forging a path forward in the image of holy excellency. And that is, right, of this spiritual supremacy against these great enemies, these, quite frankly, these demonic enemies. They're fighting against these forces who their only intention is to destroy in some way mankind, right? The Imperium of Man. But, there's so many other things. I mean, there's different factions, but whatever. Anyways, moving on from that. There's so many factions. It's different for each one. But I have no idea, by the way, what is the deal with the Necrons? People say that the Necrons are super overpowered in the world of Warhammer. I have no idea what they're about. No idea. Anyway. But this game is such a great expression of what is masculinity. And it doesn't really embrace an exactly liberal idea, especially a modern day egalitarian concept of what is nobility, right? What is masculine nobility? What is masculinity? This game here, it does a decent job at expressing what it means to be a man. Now, some elements are a little bit generalized, but they did a pretty good job. And this is a game that truly, it brings back to life something that it is that we've lost for so long now. We've lost masculine stories and masculine characters. And this story, what it does something so great. It represents and it resembles men at the absolute peak of their masculinity, and of course of their noble masculinity. In the pursuit of a noble masculinity. That's what this story does. And that is something that we've now lost. I mean, look at how many stories nowadays are completely made for cucks. You know, God of War Ragnarok, that was made for absolute cucks. You look at Peter Parker and Spider-Man 2, but you know, just modern day Spider-Man in general, he's now a cuck. And you look at what they did to Batman and the Suicide Squad was absolutely unacceptable. And then we look at, what's another one? They've killed off Superman. They just butchered him so hard. Time after time again. But you know, we have so many masculine images now that are just being destroyed and soiled right in front of us. It is absolutely terrible. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this video. This is me just doing the campaign here. And now, by the way, we are going to be getting into operations. Yes. We're going to make operations be a separate video. It'll be a continuation of this playlist that we're in right now, but first and foremost, we are going to get into the PvP. I want to see how good this is. I want to see if it's engaging. I am hoping it is, but we will see. So anyways, again, I think there's some things I probably forgot to mention in all of this. I think that was a great ending. I enjoyed the ending. And thanks for joining me on this series here. And I think that's pretty much it. I swear, if there's anything I forgot to say here, I swear there's something, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that much. So anyways, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And we will be getting right into operations and Eternal War.